Good morning, everyone. I am running a little behind, but I am so glad and so grateful that even in the spite of technical difficulties that we are on and popping this morning, okay? So it is Wake Up Wives, segment number 3. If you do not know me personally, or if this is your first time coming on, my name is Shanetta J. Harrell, and I empower millennial wives to live and love on purpose. So today I am talking about healing from hurt. Wow, I know that's a lot. I know that it is, deep, as some would say, but I really wanted to begin to really start focusing on all 3 of my core elements of my work. So if you've taken a look at my blog, or if you've taken a look at some of the things that I post, you would know that spiritual growth, marriage, and personal development are the 3 core areas that I really focus on when it comes to millennial wives. So I know in segment 1 and in segment 3, segment 1 and segment 2, I touched on spiritual growth in marriage. And so today I really wanted to begin to focus on personal development and healing. Okay? So again, I want to give you a brief overview. If you are not following me on Instagram, I do 3 weekly segments. Wake Up Wives is definitely one of them. This is a bi-weekly segment that I do. Wake Up Wives is designed for millennial wives, engaged women, or aspiring wives to get in the know before they go, right? What does that mean? That means that before we start our busy days, before we start with the kids, before we start with our husbands or our spouses, before we start, going to church functions or going to family reunions or going to family things, Wake Up Wives is an opportunity for you to get empowered before you start your day. Okay? So that's Wake Up Wives. On Tuesday, what happens is we have Tune Up Tuesday. That is a 1-minute video clip that empowers you to get through the work week. So that is the second weekly segment that I have. The third weekly segment that I have is the Word for the Weekend. I post that every Friday afternoon around 5 o'clock, 5:30 p.m. That is an opportunity for you to critically think about whatever word that is posted and how that transfers to your life. Okay, so that is the 3 weekly segments that I do. I have a personal blog. You can visit that at www.shanettajharrell.com. That personal blog is designed for millennial wives before and after they say I do. Okay, and so one of the favorite blog posts that many women find, one of their favorites is Wife Life Be Like. So this is just a small thing, kind of small hashtag that I came up with. And Wife Life Be Like is actually a real talk blog post that I do every Sunday. I just decided that I'm going to do that every Sunday so it could be a little bit more consistent and so that you guys can really be looking for that every Sunday. I think sometimes when, we do it randomly, we might miss it, but, when we have set days to do things and when it's consistent, we find that is a little bit more effective, okay? And so a lot of my blogs, a lot of my blog posts are really focused on spiritual growth, marriage, and personal development. Wife Life Be Like is kind of like my expertise of what that is. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Today we are talking about healing from hurt. Just at my notes a little bit because I did prepare a message for you guys. So today I am talking about the 5 P's of healing, right? what inspired me to begin talking about healing and talking about hurt? Nobody wants to talk about that, right? That's not something that's lit. That's not something that's on and popping. That's not something that, we get with our girls and talk about. So I want to be an online resource for women. I want to be an online resource to encourage you and empower you to begin talking about these things. So before I start my 5 Ps, I just want to say hello to everyone who has joined and everyone who is watching. Please feel free to ask questions, to give some suggestions about anything that I'm talking about, and I will answer them. I want this to be interactive. I want this to be an opportunity for you to ask anything that you would like to, or comment, or make a suggestion, okay? And for those who come on late, this will be recorded and I will post it on Facebook and my personal page, okay? So let's get to it. The 5 Ps of healing. So what inspired me to begin talking about this? I think, again, when we get with our girls and when we get with our, friends, we don't want to talk about healing. We don't want to talk about things of substance. We want to talk about light things. We don't want to talk about those things over a glass of wine. So again, I want to be an online resource for women. I want to be an online resource for you to really begin to peel back those layers. That is what I do. I empower millennial wives to begin peeling back their layers to live and to love on purpose. Okay? And so let's get right to it. I'm going to start with my own personal testimony of some of the things that I healed from. And one of the things that really affected my life and really affected my adulthood and really affected even my marriage when my husband and I first got married, okay? So one of the things that I had not healed from, healing from my hurts, one of the things that I had not healed from was bullying. I know that is, a cliche term. I know that bullying is overlooked and underestimated, right? Who cares about bullying? Everybody gets bullied, right? But it was really, bullying in middle school and high school was very hurtful for me. It hurt my self-esteem. It hurt how I viewed my body. It hurt how, men viewed me, and how I was appeasing to the eye. I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think I was, beautiful. I was just this spunky, overly bubbly girl with big glasses, and, I've always been kind of, chunky, right? As a child, I was always kind of, developed for my age. And so experiencing bullying was very hurtful for me. And it even caused me to go into a state of depression when I was in high school. And so by the grace of God, he was able to deliver me from that. But when I met my husband, it really affected how I interacted with him, because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel worthy. I had dated guys, but when I met my husband and how he treated me and how he loved me and how he loved God, ultimately I did not feel worthy of that love. And so I realized that I had not healed from my past. And so when I really began to peel back my layers, and to really understand what that truly meant, I realized that I had a lot of peeling to do. And I think that in order to begin healing, we have to start peeling, right? One layer at a time. So when I began to peel back my layers, I asked myself, where is this hurt coming from? Why is this so hurtful for me? And I realized in my own mind that I had not healed from my hurt. And so this is what inspired me this morning, and this is how I prepared to really begin to talk about healing from hurt. Okay? So today, I'm going to jump right on in. The 5 Ps. The first P is pray. The second P is peel. The third P is profess. The fourth P is purpose. And the 5 P is practice. Okay? Those are the 5 Ps and that I have come up with to begin healing from hurt. Okay? So let's talk about the first one, pray. I know that, that's, we're like, I don't want to pray about it, or praying about it sounds so, made up, or it sounds so, overused. But it is important to pray about your hurt. When we talk to God, when we pray out to God, it should be a time that we are pouring out to him. We don't have to talk to him like he's untouchable or like he's unreachable. God is our friend. He's our father. He's our sister. He's our mother. He's our father. And so when we begin to talk to him, we have to talk to him like, yo, this is what's going on, and I need help. I need healing. I need you to come down and take these strongholds off of me, right? That is the first P that we really have to begin focusing on. That's the first one. Out of all 5 of the P's, that is the first P that we should be focused on, is prayer. I know we have a lot going on in social media right now about Christianity and about spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. But at the end of the day, prayer is what is going to heal you. It is how you're going to get through, and that is how you begin to start healing from hurt. Okay? So that is the first P. Again, I want to welcome all the ladies who are tuned in. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any suggestions, this is open, this is non-judgmental, this is interactive. If you guys have anything that you'd like to say or ask, I am open, okay? So the first P was what? Prayer. The second P that we are going to begin talking about is peel. Okay, this is, other than prayer, this is probably my favorite. Peel. What does that mean? When we look at the word peel, even if you think about a banana, I love this analogy. When you look at a banana and you get ready to open a banana, some bananas are ripe on the outside. Some bananas are brown on the outside. Some bananas are even bruised on the outside, right? When we look at women, even if we made the analogy of the compare and the contrast of women looking like bananas, right? And I know that sounds crazy, but some of us have it dressed up. Some of us are ripe on the outside. Some of us are bruised on the outside. But when we start opening and peeling the layers to those bananas, right? When we start looking in the inside, and before we take that first bite, I don't know about you, but I know that sometimes my bananas might be ripe, or sometimes my bananas might be bruised, okay? So peeling back the layers of your experiences as a child really affects how you begin to heal from your hurt, okay? When my husband and I got married, there were a lot of things that we had to be open and we had to have some real dialogue about. It was uncomfortable, it was hard, but that's what marriage is. If you are thinking about getting married, if you are engaged, I always tell my sister friends, I always tell colleagues, seek premarital counseling. I can honestly say that when you have done the work before you get married, it makes things a lot easier to have a mediator or to have mediators to really dissect your marriage and give you a biblical perspective on what the next step should be. Okay? So, peeling back the layers is number 2. Okay? Moving right along. Number 3, profess. When we think about the word profess and we think about the words opening our mouth, open your mouth and be open and be honest about what you have not healed from. I think a lot of times we go about life, we have these jobs, we have these amazing lives, we paint this, pretty picture that everything is okay, but at the end of the day, we have not professed what we have not healed from. When we're open about those things, and I was sharing this on Instagram yesterday. So just a sidebar, yesterday's word for the weekend was share, okay? And so in that caption, in that Instagram caption, I talked a lot about how sharing was not easy for me, and sometimes it still isn't easy for me, right? I'm an only child. I've always been an internal processor. I've always been a private person, and so sharing with the world my vulnerabilities and sharing with the world the things that I have not healed from is difficult. Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes I don't want to. Okay, and I'm sure many of you feel that way. Many women feel that way. Why do we want to share? That's uncomfortable. I don't want anybody knowing my business. That's not for everybody to know. But at the end of the day, you're hurting. You still haven't healed from, your daddy issues. You still haven't healed from what your mama did. You still haven't healed from what you experienced growing up. You still haven't healed from your body image. You still haven't healed from your self-esteem. You still haven't healed from the things that such and such said about you. You still haven't healed from being molested. You still haven't healed from doing all of these things. These are real things that women are dealing with each and every day. When will we get to a point of when we are open about sharing our healing? When will we get to a point when we're sharing our hurt? When will we get to that point, ladies? When will we get to that point? And what is stopping us? What is stopping us from being open about those things? And what is stopping us from being transparent and being open about the things that we have experienced as women? I tell people all the time, I share because I believe that it is in through my sharing and my transparency that I will be able to liberate another woman to do the same thing, right? What if we all had that perspective? What if we woke up every morning with the idea of, in spite of my feelings, and I'm talking to myself, in spite of my feelings, in spite of my discomfort, in spite of the things that I feel, in spite of the vulnerability that I really don't want to talk about, you know what? I'm going to empower my sister. I'm going to empower another woman. I'm going to share my experiences, my hurt, my healing, my testimony with another woman. Right? What if we all felt that way? What if we all had the audacity, the courage, the wisdom, and what if we all had that fuel to be able to do that? Right? That is how we begin to heal from our hurt. It's not about anyone knowing your business. It's not about anyone judging you. It's about, how can I heal? How can I move on in my life? How can I move on to be married? How can I move on to the next job promotion? How can I move on to the next chapter of my life? How can I move on to begin traveling? How can I begin to love on my sister more? How can I begin to raise disciples? How can I begin to love myself? How can I begin to love God? How can I begin to accept that everything in my life that I've received, I am worthy of? How can I begin to feel that, to know that, to live that, and to love that? Right? How can we begin healing from our hurt? Ladies, again, you're tuning in. If you have any questions, suggestions, let me know. Moving right on. I know I kind of went off on a tangent, but when I get excited, I'm excited. I'm excited, okay? So, moving right on, the fourth P is what? Purpose. Purpose. Why is purpose important? We have to walk in our purpose. I want you to get this. We have to walk in our purpose regardless of our pain. We have to walk in our purpose regardless of our pain. What does that mean? That means If the Lord has already told me that this is the next thing, if the Lord has already shown me just a small snippet of what he has for me, that means even in the midst of my pain, my vulnerability, my discomfort, the things that I really don't want to do, you know what? I'm still going to walk in my purpose, right? Even in the midst of that, I still have to walk in my purpose. And so today's topic, healing from our hurt, means that even in the midst of healing from my hurt, that means that I'm still going to walk in my purpose. There are some days, I'm just going to be open and real, because if you know me personally, I'm very open. There are some days where I don't even feel like walking in my purpose, okay? There are some days I don't even feel like getting up to empower women. There are some days where I don't even feel like, being overly bubbly. You know what? And that's okay. But at the end of the day, I'm still walking in the purpose that God has ordained me to do, right? So when we look at other women, when we look at the lives of other women, I tell people all the time, sometimes, when I first launched, and when I first decided that I was going to empower women, people would ask me, who is your target audience? Who are the women that you want to empower? Who are the people, that you want to speak to directly? So for me, it's not about having 1,000 views or having 10 million likes. It's about, my sisters. It's about my friends. If I'm not empowering them, then I'm not really empowering anybody, okay? So if I'm not empowering the people that are close to me, if I'm not empowering my coworkers, if I'm not empowering people in my community, if I'm not empowering people at the grocery store, if I'm not empowering people at church, if I'm not empowering my family members, I'm not really doing what it is that I'm doing. How can you empower people here if you're not even empowering people here or people here? Are you following what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the fourth P that we really have to focus on as well is purpose. There is purpose in your hurt. When we go through the things in life, when daddy wasn't there, when mama wasn't there, when grandma left us, when our friends left us, when our coworkers was talking about us, when, as a child, we experienced things that we didn't really necessarily want or we didn't necessarily understand. All of that is for a purpose. If I had not experienced the things that I experienced as a child, I wouldn't be standing here before you today. In your job, in your daily walk with Christ, in your ability, in your compassion, in your purpose, if you had not experienced the things that you had experienced, that hurt, that healing, if you had not experienced those things, how would you be able to walk in your purpose today? Look at your jobs. Look at what you do vocationally. Look at what you do naturally. Look at what you do. Just look at who you are. If it wasn't for those past experiences, you would not be walking in your purpose. Okay? Just look at the beauty in that, right? Beauty for ashes. Look at that. Okay? Moving right on to the last P. Practice. Practice is the last P. Practice your purpose in your daily walk. Practice affirming yourself in your daily walk. Practice what it is that you need. Practice affirming yourself. What does that mean? That means that when I'm at work or when I'm, just going about my daily life, or if I'm talking with my husband, or if I'm out in the community, or if I'm at church and there's something that triggers me, or there's something that bothers me, you know what? I'm going to stop and say, Sharnetta, you will not begin to be emotional about this. And if I am emotional, you know what? It's okay. But what about this situation? What about this? So I give you a perfect example, right? sometimes we are so quick, right, to get mad at someone, or to get mad at our spouse, or to get mad at, coworkers, or to get mad at our friends, or to get mad at God, because we don't understand what or why this had to happen to us, right? We start saying, well, I don't deserve this, or why do I deserve this? Or, I don't understand why I'm hurt. Going back to hurting and healing, I don't understand, why, I have to go through this. I don't understand this. When we begin to peel back those layers and really begin to practice those things, we can practice affirmations. We can say, today I declare that in the name of Jesus that I will be more than a conqueror. I'm going to say that today I am beautiful, regardless of what the world tells me, and regardless of the things or the words that people said to me as a child. I am beautiful, and the Lord made me fearfully and wonderfully. So even in the midst of the problems, even in the midst of I think I'm saying, Ro is saying my internet dropped. Okay, am I on? Am I on? Can you hear me? Okay. So I think I'm still connected. I'm still connected. So I'm just gonna make sure that you guys can hear me. All right. Ro, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I am on. Okay. I'm just going to keep right on talking and getting right to the nitty gritty. Okay. So, again, I know I'm having some internet connections issues. If you guys are following me, I'm going to make sure that this is up and recorded on my page. Okay, so I'm just going to keep right on going. So just a brief overview of what we've talked about. The 5 P's to healing: pray, peel, profess, purpose, and what? Practice. Okay? All 5 of these things are crucial to healing from your hurt. Define what is healing and define what is hurt. We have to define those 2 things. What are the things that you have not healed from? And these are questions that I really want you all to begin to ask yourself. What are the things that still trigger you? What are the things that you still sometimes think about? What are the things that you have not healed from? What are the things that have hurt you? Where do you hurt? Do you hurt in your heart? Do you hurt? Where do you hurt? Do you hurt in your mind? Do you hurt in your thoughts? Do you hurt in your body? What hurts you, and how can you heal from it? Okay, I want you to critically think about those things. I know that, people are always like, Trinetta, is too deep. Why are you so deep? These are real life experiences, y'all. I cannot tell you how many women that I know that are my age and that are older, that are beautiful women, that are successful women, that are smart women, that are business women, that are owners, entrepreneurs, that are mothers, that are, pillars of their community, that are hurting from not healing. Okay? How many women do you know in your life that has experienced something that they have not healed from? I want to encourage you, as I begin to close, to empower your sisters and to empower your friends and to empower your family to begin healing from their hurt. Okay? So In today's segment, today is segment number 3 of Wake Up Wives. And so today I touched on personal development, developing yourself personally and healing personally. Okay? These are things that we have to begin to do. These are things that, despite it being uncomfortable, we still have to do them, ladies. So Wake Up Wives is an opportunity for you to get in the know before you go. So today I hope that I was able to empower you, that I was able to encourage you, and that you were able to get in the know, the know of your healing, the know of your hurt, before you go about your daily life, right? And so a lot of times on Saturdays and on the weekends, we're often busy, doing things, church things, family things, husband things, children things. But I really want to challenge you, ladies, that to really begin thinking about healing from your hurt. Healing from the things that nobody knows about you. Healing from the things that are your deepest, darkest secrets. Healing from the things that you haven't even told your mom about. Healing from the things that you haven't even told your spouse about. Healing from the things that you haven't told your friends about. Healing from the things that no one even knows, that you haven't even told God about. Although He already knows about it, you have not professed it. So going back to the 5 P's, what are those things, ladies? What are those things? And what is stopping you? What is stopping you from healing? Is it embarrassment? Is it vulnerability? Is it being comfortable? What is stopping you from your healing? What is stopping you from that? So I want to challenge you to apply the 5 P's to your life, to your friends. Share with someone, share with your mom, share with your sister, share with your friends, share with your coworkers. What is stopping you from healing from your hurt? And trust me when I say this, I am I'm going to stop. So Rashonda says it's vulnerability and comfort. I don't like exposing myself to others, but I'm working on it. Yes. So let me just stop and address this. So, Ro, we are kindred, right? I've said that since the day I've met her. So I actually experienced and sometimes I still experience this same thing. Vulnerability and comfort are dangerous, right? I tell my friends all the time, I don't like being vulnerable. I don't like being uncomfortable. I want to stay bubbly. I want to stay the light in the room. I don't want anybody to know, about my issues and about the things that I haven't healed from. And so when Rose says, I don't like exposing let's really peel back the layers to this sentence. I don't like exposing, right? Exposing means putting something on blast, right? It means putting yourself out there to others. That means that I don't like exposing or being on the surface for everyone to see what it is that I am going through, right? But she said, but I'm working on it, right? So that's the first step, working on it. And let me just say this, even in today's topic of healing from hurt, healing from your hurt is a journey, right? Don't think about it as a destination. Think about it as a journey. I never want to encourage people to think that you're going to apply the 5 P's to your life and tomorrow you're going to be healed, right? That is not what I mean at all. What I am empowering you to do is to apply those 5 P's to your life. So, Ro, when you begin to talk about vulnerability and comfort, you're being vulnerable right now. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, you are being vulnerable right now because there are other women that are watching, there are other women who are listening, and there are other women who probably wish that they could have even typed that, or there are other women who probably wish that they could even say that, right? So thank you for being vulnerable and comfortable with talking about that, right? And so I really applaud women who are able to be open, to be comfortable, and to be vulnerable, okay? So, excuse me, and let me just say that for me, I really struggled with vulnerability because, and let me just say, if you would like more research and a little bit more insight on vulnerability, I really would encourage you to Google Brene Brown. That is Brene Brown. She is phenomenal. She is a social work. She's a social work advocate, and she does a lot of research around vulnerability. So I really want you, if you really want some more support and assistance in vulnerability, I would really encourage you to Google her. She's phenomenal. She's awesome. I've watched a lot of her work, her symposiums, and she's truly amazing. Okay, so let me just say this. I shared earlier on today's segment number 3 that as an only child and as an internal processor that I just did not like being vulnerable. I've always kind of been like the strong friend, the friend that came to everybody else's rescue. But there came a point in my life where I had to say, you know what? I have to come to my own rescue, and Jesus, I need you to rescue me, right? I think a lot of women feel that way. I can say for Ro and I, when I first met her, I knew that we were the same. I knew that we had a kindred spirit, and I knew that both of us, we might not have experienced the same thing. Well, actually we did, but that's even more crazier. But I can honestly say that, you know, we were the friends that were always, you know, liked, and we were always the friends that were joyful and, you know, that could provide support to everybody else. And we could empower our friends, and we could do all of these different things. But what is it that we were dealing with? What was it that we were not being open about? Okay, and so I knew that when I met her. And Ro, we are going to do this together. Let me just say this. I'm still healing. Okay, I'm still healing, and and I often hurt. Let's just be real and let's just be honest. We are all healing from something. Okay, we all are. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you do from 9 to 5. We are all healing from something. It might not be as drastic as someone else. It might not be as prominent or, you know, detailed as someone else, but we are all healing from something. Okay, so if you're just joining, I just went over the 5 P's. If anyone has any questions, I am wrapping up. I've been on for about 38 minutes. Again, I am going to leave this up on my page so you can kind of go back and see. But pray, peel, profess, purpose, and practice. Those are the 5 P's that I was able to go over. Okay, so again, my name is Sharnetta J. Harrell, for those who do not know me, and I empower millennial wives to begin peeling back their layers to live and love on purpose. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining me this morning. I know I was a little late, but you guys have been awesome. And I really want to thank Ro for her vulnerability in sharing this morning, okay? So, again, Wake Up Wives is bi-weekly. Do not feel pressured. If you are not a wife yet, I want you to begin practicing being a wife, because I think that some people see Wake Up Wives and they're like, oh, I don't want to watch that because, you know, that's just about wives. But if you are aspiring to be a wife, or if you're newly engaged, come on, join us. You know, you have to begin to operate as a wife, right? So just join us and come on in. I hope that this word blessed you. I hope that you were able to get some type of nugget from today. And I am looking forward. I am working on big things. I am working on a meetup event for you all next year. I am working on a lot of big things, and so I hope that someone was empowered. I hope something was done or said that will empower you and that will help you with your healing, and that will help you with your hurting. Okay, so again, I am closing out. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any suggestions, always let me know. You can email me. You can message me. My email is sharnettajharrell@gmail.com. If there's something that you would like me to address, if there's a topic that you want to hear, if there's a topic that you want to know more about, please let me know. And I am done, ladies. Thank you again so much. This has been truly, truly awesome. I'm full, and again, Wake Up Wives is bi-weekly. So I will see you not next Saturday, but the next Saturday, okay? And I am done. So thank you, ladies, again, and I will see you around. Please also feel free to like my business page. It is Sharnetta J. Harrell as well. And always feel free to be interactive. Always feel free to ask questions. I think that when we're vulnerable and when we're open and when we are comfortable about our healing, we can truly begin to infect other women to heal as well. Okay? All right, ladies. I hope that you got in the know before you go. Again, my name is Sharnetta J. Harrell, and I empower millennial wives to begin to peel back their layers to live and to love on purpose. Have a good day. Bye.